love us to interview. If we could interview anybody, no holds barred, who would it be? Jason Momoa. I agree. Is this rolling?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Are we podcasting?
I think so.
I know. Your voice.
That's where I'm at, you guys.
Jen
gonna bring
is
us
no longer with us, but an 102-year-old woman is.
Real quickly into our topic. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are listened to. Rate, subscribe, fly a plane overhead, do whatever you want to do.
I just would like to say for the record that I enjoy driving to Jen's neighborhood and seeing helicopters above head and a SWAT team in the neighborhood, because it feels like finally it's not just my neighborhood.
There always is. You know what? This is what I heard. Don't invite anybody into, this is going to invite crime, but there's a lot of jewelers that live in my neighborhood.
Oh.
And they
that's a real thing. Like they don't have certain friends because they're afraid that like, they'll be like, oh, I need to use your bathroom. And then they'll go steal a bunch of diamonds.
No, you can't
I'm
use the bathroom.
not saying that I would. Wouldn't you think that if you were at a jeweler's house, like where is the jewels?
My husband, the first wedding band that he got for me was a jeweler in this neighborhood, and she had like a lockdown system because they work out of their house.
Yeah, I know.
So she had like armed guards and stuff like that, and he also really pissed her off. So it was a really terrifying.
He tried to lower the price.
No, he didn't. She lied about the size of the ring, and
I remember you got it, and then you couldn't get it sized, and you were devastated.
I loved it so much. It had like yellow diamonds.
Yeah,
and
it was very cool.
I loved it.
But your ring now is super dope.
I like this one better. By the way,
BT Dubs, lady, jewelry lady.
So also, you can buy tickets to our live show, which is going on all this summer. Go to IMOMSOHARD.com and don't pay dirty scalpers. Just go to our website.
And also, our show's super fun.
It is a good time.
Naughty and hilarious. And if you're looking for recipes or like a kumbaya, that is not the show.
Also, it's really fun because we just got back from doing 3 shows, and we don't ever get bored of it. We always find new stuff that we're genuinely. It's written. It's a stand-up show. It's a 2-person stand-up show. It's written, and we always find new things to laugh at, no matter how exhausted we are. But now we're exhausted, and
we literally just got back yesterday. And when you are a mother, nobody gives a shit.
Nope.
That you have done anything outside of mothering. They're like, oh, you've just been gone for a minute. Can you please make me some chicken wings?
And plus, like, our husbands were solo parenting. Like, well, your mom was in town.
Yes.
So
which
he had
felt very lucky
hands.
about that.
We didn't. And my husband got his arse handed to him. And I get it. I mean, when he's out of town, I'm like, let's just, if they brush their teeth, I'm patting myself on the back.
That's why, like, we always talk about single moms, and like, that is a next level layer of impossibility. And that's why some things, you have to let some stuff go. You can't, like, a single parent, it is the hardest job out there. I can't imagine. Although I do think sometimes you're like, wouldn't it be nice that you just get to make a decision and you don't have to have a conversation about it or have any pushback about it? It's just your way. Well, I'm just saying,
you're
that
still
seems like a silver lining.
That conversation, the pushback with your kids, though. Let's
I know. Once
that.
they bridge 10, you're like,
step.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You're just shorter.
You're just having more hormonal debates with people.
Isn't that the truth? I got that right when I walked in. 1 hour, I was threatening to take away screens. 1 hour in the door.
I know. It was, so I took a 30-minute power nap and then picked up the kids. And then it was back to the old rigmarole. It was like, you've
done nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, my brother even mentioned, because he's living in LA now. So last time we came home from a trip, they came and met us and like brought dinner, which was really super sweet. And he looked at me as I'm like flying around the house. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm picking up. The first thing I do when I get back into town is, my husband was overwhelmed with everything. He didn't have time to pick up.
Yeah, you're trying to make up
picking up. Yeah.
Also, you just want to know that like you're really tough. So when that conversation comes full circle, and it will in an argument, you can be like, when I got back from San Diego, I didn't miss a beat.
You don't?
Well, I'm just going to tell this story very quickly, but I will tell you why I was extra tired.
Okay.
And you know why.
Wait.
All right. At the San Diego show.
You know what? Maybe, hold on. Let me give it a good setup. What I thought we should talk about today is how impossible it is for a mom to find time for herself.
Oh.
Except Kristin figured out a way to do it for about...
No.
Do you know about this, Casey?
Jen.
Casey was not with us on this trip, but
okay.
I have the best video.
It's a blackmail video. It's going to come out at some point.
Kristin, it's not blackmail.
It's
just hilarious.
Okay. In the show, we go through women's bags, and it's our favorite thing in the whole world if we find like a pack of like a granola bar or like their leftovers from a restaurant. We like power eat it. It shocks the audience.
In this show, I ate a Philadelphia roll, which was disgusting. I couldn't get it done. Leftover sushi.
We're taking a risk.
Beef on it, you guys.
We're taking a risk. We know it. We know it. But it is so satisfying. The audience cannot believe, especially as two women, that we would ever do such a thing. And it just makes the audience like erupt. And of course, as you said during our conversation, and I'll tell you more about this, that Jen said, you're somebody who follows the laughter and that guides your life. Like if there is laughter involved, I'm like, oop, I'm doing the right thing.
Like
be it good or bad. Be it good or bad. Now, we were in the show. We're doing mom bags.
Yep.
And I found a bag of cookies.
It was a suspicious looking bag of cookies.
They looked really broken. I was like, what'd she have them between her thighs? Like, like driving and trying to eat. And then I was like, this group of ladies was losing their mind. And I was like, oh, I bet it's those kind of cookies. So I opened the bag and the smell was so strong.
And let me tell you this, we're not professional pot people whatsoever. There was maybe one time in my life in college, I could have called myself like an amateur aficionado, but
I'm not. And listen,
and pot is way stronger these days.
Oh my God, so strong. And I will say for the record that my psychiatrist at one point was like, do you want a medical card? And I was like, but I don't smoke pot. And he's like, but you should. And it just it's never worked with me. I've always become very paranoid. Like, if it works for you, I actually envy you. I'm like, if it helps you sleep, if it get like whatever, I'm not out here to judge anybody. I'm just like, that's your thing.
Well, it does work for some people.
It does not work for me.
And also, might I say, it works. The right kind works for people with real medical issues.
Totally.
People with seizures and stuff like that. And that's great. But we both have pretty high anxiety. And all it does for me is think that like the clock doesn't work. Right. And that like,
how many words have I just said out loud?
And did I just ask how many words did I say out loud?
Did I just say that out loud?
Wait, did I just say that out loud?
Wait, did they see me ask myself if I just said that out loud 4 times in a row?
And then I'm like, how much time
Why
has
are they
gone
trying
by?
to kill me?
That's 45 minutes where I could have been organizing like my drawer in my kitchen, my junk drawer. I can't do it.
No,
I can't do
it's not good, but I will do anything for a laugh, kind of. I know myself. So they were screaming, don't do it. And I said, well, now I'm going to do it. So I took what I thought was a reasonable bite. But when I looked at Brady, and he's our stage manager and also good at pot, I looked at him and I said, and he goes, so then I did the math in my head. I was like, I've got probably like 20 to 30 minutes before this hits, because I don't want it to affect the show, because I am very like dedicated to our show being very good.
May I interject?
Oh.
I heard this 20-minute theory for about 45 minutes. I will tell you from my perspective, she put down the bags and gave me a long, cold stare, and then was back in it and immediately twisted a line into so that I just looked at her and I go, what did you just say?
I like literally rewrote a line, and then I looked at Jen and I was like, but it's true, right?
But I do think what happened was you like did a reset because you were like, okay, I'm high. I got to blah, blah, blah. And then you were like,
yep. I literally was like, in the back, it's the conversation we've had before where you're in your front yard going, you're stupid. You're stupid. So I'm like at the table, like getting a drink of water. And I'm like, Kristin, you have done this show as sick as a dog. You've done it with no sleep. You've done it pretty buzzed one time on accident. You have done this show. You can do this high. So I just like tried to pretend like I didn't feel anything, when meanwhile my mouth was so dry. And I was so paranoid the whole time. And I just kept looking at Jen like, focus on her. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
So after that point, I don't think you missed a beat. You were like lapping water like a dog out of the... You were so thirsty. You were so thirsty.
And then we got into the hotel room, and then it really hit. And then all of a sudden I just remember being like, oh, am I high? And Jen's like, you're really high. And then at one point I thought she got mad at me. I was like, we need to do a follow-up post about the show. but I don't know if I can do that. And she goes, yeah, because you're high. I'll do it. And I was like, well, you don't have to say it like that. And then cut to, we're both laying on the floor. And I'm like, interior design is just a really great way to
talking. We're tired and we're laying on the floor and talking about
And then
life.
Jen made some stupid joke, and then I got the giggles for what felt like 2 hours. My stomach hurt. Then we had to go do a meet and greet.
Yeah. And then, so match Kristin's the highest she's ever been with the drunkest people we've ever had at a meet and greet. And it was, I felt like I was babysitting.
Yeah, I was like a toddler. I was like, Jen, do I have to talk to people? What do I say? And so then I just like eyeballed them, and my eyes were like bright red and glassy. And then every smile that I have is.
She's like, am I smiling right now? Am I doing it again?
It's all just gums. It's all gummy, and I was high for so long.
Oh, she put in my clip-in hair, which is really funny. We should.
I know, we have
got
pictures, we got video.
I got video, you guys. It's really.
But the point is, like, it doesn't help me sleep. So I sort of float above sleep, which I know some people it really helps you sleep, and I like envy that because I have sleep issues.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is, I didn't have a hangover, but I didn't sleep because I was high.
You had a high over.
I had a high over, but guess who doesn't give a shit? Your family, ever. And you can't go in and go, Mommy ate a pot cookie on accident. So
Mommy
now
was at work.
Mommy was at work with Aunt Jen.
Yeah.
Got really high on accident. Thought a lot about herself introspectively. I really did have a lot of thoughts about myself.
I think too, which like one time in Vegas, you ate a bite of a pot brownie, and it didn't do that much, really. You were like a little bit slower on the uptake.
You guys, this is not my thing. I'm telling you right now, like, don't bring pot brownies to the show on purpose.
Oh my God, I've
only done it 3 times. One time, I took a puff off a vape because I knew if the light illuminated, the joke would land as though I had taken some. And it felt like a little bit of something, but it was fast. Yeah. The pot brownie in Vegas, I did not know what was going to happen. But a quick change, it was not. Yeah. I was so slow.
Don't ply us with drugs. I'm so scared of drugs, you guys. I am the biggest nerd. And I hate even calling pot drugs because I don't think it is.
It's just a feeling that we're not used to.
Yeah. Listen. I think it's way safer than alcohol on a lot of levels, but this is not for your kids or whatever. I just think arguably if one's taboo and one's not, I
think there's equal to me, because I would feel equally bad if I were to get on stage and have realized I drank too much. In fact, my performance would be worse for sure, because that's why like I didn't drink when I bartended. I don't drink when I do this. Slows me down. I worry about not getting lines for you. I garble. I mean, obviously you're like drunk, you get like 3 minutes of awesome, and then the rest you're like crying and like hoping someone can Uber you home. Like, I don't want to ever, like, that's not my jam. But I did feel, I was like, oh God. And then not to mention, I'm like, they all know, like, they're watching me on stage because I'm the performer, but in my head they're watching me because they're seeing me get high, and that is all I kept thinking about.
Yeah,
I was like, can they tell? Why is everybody looking at me? Well, what are they doing?
They're at a comedy show.
And then they would laugh, and I would go, was that funny? Is my timing off? and then I'm like asking Jen 1,000 times. I was like, I'm not high, right?
We're backstage. So she has the pot brownie, and we do 10, 15 minutes. And then we go to intermission. She goes, okay, I got 20 minutes for this to kick in. I'm like, you said that 20 minutes ago. She's like, no, I bet. Yeah. And then at one point you fixated on 8. I've got 8 minutes. I just did I looked at the clock. I've got 8 minutes before this thing kicks in. And then we're in trouble. We're in trouble at 8 minutes. And
then I get down and I'm like, you guys, I think everything's fine. And Jen's like, nope, you're really high. And I was like, okay, the 8 minutes is up. The 8 minutes is up.
We just surpassed the 8 minutes. We were in high school one time that was getting busted by the party that was getting busted by the cops.
What was that like? Anyway, go ahead.
It was scary, but she and I somehow, oh my God, we were like Lucy and Ethel up in the bathroom, both of us having had like half a Southern Comfort and Mountain Dew or something like that. And both of us were like, so hammered. And I was like, listen, we're like listening by the door. Like, it was such such a scene from
hide in the closet.
The cops are here. Like people were jumping out the windows. They're like hiding in the pool. And behind,
hide the hamper.
Like jumping into the neighbor's yard and stuff like that.
Yeah, we both can fit. We can fit.
I was like, Angie, you're so drunk. You got to sober up. And I smacked her.
Oh, no. No.
She fell into the bathtub.
No, you guys deserve to get arrested. That's the way I look at it.
But we did. I don't know.
You got arrested?
No, we didn't get arrested.
Oh.
I don't know how we got away, but it was brought me back to that moment where I was like, well, I'm not going to smack her because she'll fall into the shower.
I would feel so criticized. All I kept remembering was like.
I don't think it helps anyway. I just saw it in movies.
You did a good job. You go, well, isn't it nice that you are only worrying about one thing right now? And that is if you're high. And I was like, my brain's like melting. I'm like, wait, I am only worrying about one thing. I'm not worrying about 25 things. I'm worrying about one thing. Wait, is high good? Am I good high? No, I don't like the way this feels. Am I talking out loud? Wait, am I talking out loud?
Yeah, it might be fun if it didn't give you the stress or anxiety.
Well, this was also I didn't realize it would be that intense from that small of a product. Well, I ate half of a cookie.
Our friend Dennis, hi Denny, you're probably not listening, but he's
high as a kite right now.
Yeah, he's such a pro, you guys. And at his birthday one time, somebody had made him these granola bars, and he had like a bite of one. And we were at Benihana, and we ordered, and then he looked at me and goes, "Did we order?" And I go, "Literally just now, you just ordered. Oh my God, I can never have whatever it is that you're having because I would cease to function."
Meanwhile, then there's my mom, who's, by the way, born in the 60s or born in the 50s, graduated high school in like 69.
Yeah.
Like she tries to tell me like she wasn't around pot. I'm like, what are you talking about? It was the era of pot. And she this is like one of the things I talked about in my very first stand-up sets is like, she found that we had pot chocolate in our fridge because everybody kept trying to get me to do pot because they thought it would calm me down. And they were like, oh, it helps with my anxiety. And I'm like, just put it in the fridge. And then my mom found it. And we had a bright yellow label on it that said, "This is pot chocolate. Do not eat this. This is pot chocolate." So my mom's like, well, what is this? What is this? So then she and Colin sat down and my mom was like, I never in a million years thought my mom would be down for that. She was like, I thought she would be like, no, I would never. She's like, no, I'll try some. I'm like, all right, Terry. So then my husband and me and my mom sat down and they were doing pot chocolate and I wasn't having any. And all of a sudden she was giggling and she was relaxed and Colin was giggling and he was relaxed and it looked like they were on a date with each other.
Oh.
And then they were drinking wine. And then my mom got home and literally on her Facebook, she was like, "Thanks, Colin Sweeney, for a great weekend. I really enjoyed our time to Netflix and chill."
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
So evidently they did some pot chocolate together while I was out of town as well.
Well,
my
is
mom
that all
swears
they did?
it helps with her bursitis. That's what she tells me. Boy, it really does reduce inflammation. I'm like, save it, sister.
Where does she have bursitis?
I don't know. I don't think she knows what bursitis is. I think she's making up a word so she can do pot
or something.
It's in her hip.
Whatever.
Steps with Leslie.
Whatever you need to
relax.
As an excuse to do. But also, I will say that in the 60s and 70s, even when we were younger, they weren't as good at
making it.
The
THC alone now
is so strong.
It's so strong that like you aren't smoking a joint. You're smoking like it feels like a rocket ship.
No, you literally could in some parts of Nebraska find pot, but it was like growing. Weed. But then you would get ditchweed, and then you would just have the Taco Bell craps forever. Yeah, it was not good. Guy gave me weed at Lollapalooza, and I gave it to everybody in our group, and we like kept having to pull over. So bad.
Well, weed at Lollapalooza feels like a layup. Like that should just be good weed. What kind of...
There's no way I would eat anything at Lollapalooza. I would pack my own lunch these days because I would die. We're talking about a cook. You would have a chocolate chip at one of those places, and you'd be like,
she's
get
catatonic.
Her off the light tower. Get her down. She doesn't know what...
She is convinced everyone's trying to kill her. She's trying to escape Chicago. What do we do?
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is I did not sleep well. Then we worked the whole time in the car. We did an entire like pitch document in the car.
Yep.
We drove up. I put my stuff inside, gave my mom a hug, and then the rest is a blur. All I know, I was taking Eleanor to tap.
Yeah, your schedule comes up in my my calendar, and I'm like, God, that kid taps a lot, man. Which it feels like I forget. We have we have piano on Mondays. I forget every dang Monday.
I know, we do too.
Every Monday. I'm like, they've been doing it for like 3 years too, and I still forget about it.
Well, I don't even put all of this stuff in the calendar because some of it's stuff that I just go to.
You're much better parent than me.
No, it's that my kids are Finn has been playing baseball, and so now baseball is twice a week.
Okay.
And soccer is twice a week.
God.
And we live at a field in Van Nuys next to the greatest Mexican restaurant I've ever been to.
Okay, now we're talking. Now I'm interested.
I'm like, weird that my pants are getting even tighter, and they are sweatpants.
Well, Kristin, that's what I'm going to say. My kimono doesn't fit anymore. Those ones we got these matching kimonos, I have let everything go. And it's not just like, it's such a downward spiral because I start to feel it's not just the weight, because I really am at a place where I'm like, I'm not and was never engineered to be a thin person. When I was like a skinny person,
you were working at it.
Or I was crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, working at it in not a good way or a bad way, but working at it. And
especially like even when I was, in my like teens or something like that, I was like, all I did was dance all day long and just run from point A to point B. And was like, I did eat a lot, but I don't think.
But your calorie burn and your metabolism were matching.
Were like so high.
Same.
But it's aside from the weight, because I've accepted like I'm not on earth to be like, I've got Neanderthal DNA. I know that from 23andMe, and I embrace it. This
23andMe takeaway has been a game changer.
I think
in a good direction.
Because I feel like I want to take care of myself, and I want to be healthy, and I want to have energy, and I want to be flexible and not have aches and stuff. But I want to get back into doing the yoga, and there's no time. And so I feel bad about my state that I'm in physically, which affects how I feel mentally. And then I beat myself up, which affects me mentally worse. Like it just is like this downward spiral that I can't get out of. So,
you know what it takes? One good day.
Really?
I think it takes one good day. Look, whenever you're somebody who works outside, like if you have to travel for work, I just don't know how people that work as like pharmaceutical reps, or even if you're somebody who has to drive in your car all the time, I think that is such a hard thing to manage. I don't know how people make good food choices or go to the gym or do any of that when you're somebody that has to live in and out of Marriott's. I just don't know how you do it. It is a very tough thing.
Yeah.
I know people do it. You're better than me. But I do think that now that we're home for like 4 weeks, you just need one good day that is your day where you get to do yoga, where you get to take a breath, where we get to simmer down a little bit, and you're going to feel like, oh, that's right. That's what I got to do. And then it pushes the pedal in the right direction. We've just been laid out flat. And it's been, I think it's the end of the school year. Tensions are high with everything right now. And pretty soon summer always brings on a feeling of like, oh, this is going to be more fun.
Yeah.
I think you need to have fun, and I think you need to have one good day. And it kind of changes the whole scope.
I'll feel better if I need to get caught
or
up.
Get really high.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think I'm just having this really positive attitude because I might still be high.
I'll have a great 10 minutes and then I'll be like, oh God, was it 10:40 or 10?
Yeah.
We're going backwards in time. I know.
Am I talking out loud?
I got to get like caught up. It reminds me, this point in my life, I was thinking of this, reminds me of when I had 2 little babies.
Always.
Because I remember feeling like I was breastfeeding, and then I had like a 2.5, 3-year-old.
Yeah, you
and
just walk around in a 90-degree angle all the time.
And I was like, I don't get to choose what shirt I get to wear because I need to have my entire body available to another human being at all times. And when I'm not doing that, I am working for this other little human being. And it's sort of the loss of self I felt then that I feel now, where like none of my time belongs to me. And that's when I start like staying up too late because I'm like, oh, put the kids to bed.
Yeah, if I don't get it now, I don't get it at all.
I'm gonna have like I watched Housewives last night until midnight because it was like I haven't had time or energy just lay and watch TV, and then it feels like time that I own, and it makes it worse.
Yes, but I think that's the great challenge for all moms at every kind of stage is how do I carve out this time for myself, and how do I prioritize it because it feels selfish. It feels like how do I say to a business partner or to my husband or to a teacher or to whoever, like, I can't do anything between 8 and 9 because that's my time. But if you heard somebody say that, you'd be like, hell yes. You'd be like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And Miss Casey, our fine producer of this podcast, said something to me that has stuck in my head because we were kind of talking about the same thing. And I was like, I just want to, if I just lose 10 pounds, I'm going to feel so much better about myself. If I just and so then I had my Fitbit on and I was weighing myself and it's not working and I'm getting high and eating so many bags of chips. And she said, why don't you live the way that someone who is at the weight you want to be lives and try to do that. So she's like, emulate the happy person is what she's saying. I'm not looking to be a noodle. I'm talking about a 10-pound weight loss, but I'm like, does somebody that weighs 10 pounds less than me eat a handful of like caramel corn before they go to bed? They don't. Or does the person who is 10 pounds lighter than me, if she in fact is happier, which is the real goal, the happier version of me, does that person go out and like go on a hike or fiddle with their plants? And the answer is yes, that's what a happier me does. So why can't I just be that right now? And then I took away the Fitbit, which I'm obsessed with, which is really hard for me because all of a sudden I'm gauging my happiness on these ticks and these clicks and these apps. And I'm like, what if I just have faith that like being mindful might be enough? Like if I go on a hike, I know I hit my steps.
Yeah.
If I ride my Peloton for 30 minutes, I know I get my heart rate up. I don't need this thing to tell me that, but can I live this version of myself sort of like using what is it called when I get it all the time, imposter syndrome in a positive direction.
Oh yeah.
It's weird, like heady stuff. Boy, I was high, wasn't I?
Well, I'm really, it's really done something to her, you guys. We haven't had
I went to church and I got high. Who am I?
I bought sweatpants. We're switching bodies.
Also, Jen does a fist bump before shows now. She's never done that.
I don't know where it came from.
I bought new lipstick and but I was pretty surly about it. I was like, I got new lipstick.
Put something on me that you like and then I'll buy it. Put it in a bag and I'll pay for it.
I know this. I was like, and she's like, Britt laughed really hard. He was like, you look so unhappy that you got new lipstick.
Because you came in and you go, I got new lipstick. And that you were doing a frowny thing with your lips with the new lipstick on it. It was a hard sell, I'm not going to lie to you. Because your smile is very pretty. Yeah, lipstick or no. You know, what you were saying reminded me of this. And I don't know, maybe there's some like takeaway that I'm not smart enough to see at once. But I did go to this life coach, which I know everybody thinks are like fruity, flaky, whatever.
No, I just think it's accountability.
For me, what she really did was you can like retrain your brain to think about something. Like if you think of the word like an orange, you automatically have, do you think of the color? Do you think of the fruit? What do you think of?
The fruit and the Dukes of Hazzard.
I like it. I don't like it. Exactly. Do you have like a happy thought with it? Do you not like the way it tastes?
Aroused.
Does it give you a stomach ache? Does it whatever? You can like rethink the way you think about something. And so she really felt shocking that I needed to reframe the way that I thought about myself. She had me do this exercise that I'll give you nutshell version. You can do it along if you want to kind of, but this was the abbreviated version where she was like, close your eyes and picture yourself perfect. Like you are everything you ever wanted to be, your hair, your face, your skin, your stomach, your body, your height, your clothes.
I see Giselle, but that's not me.
You're just seeing Tom Brady behind you.
I'm also seeing Tom Brady. I'm also Tom Brady or I'm Giselle.
Take the Tom Brady out of the equation. That always happens in the beginning. You gotta move,
go into
move
my
out
gender.
The sexy athlete out of the way. Yep. Okay. So, and then you picture that you is like the successful person that you've always wanted that person to be, the good at the things you want them to be, like the parent you want them to be, the business person you want them to be, the kind person you want them to be, the spouse you want them to be, whatever. And so that perfect you opens their eyes to listen to you, and you tell that perfect person everything they need to know to be successful and happy in their life.
I'm stressed out.
Why?
That is too much work. You want to know what I was thinking?
What?
As I was like building this perfect person, I was like, this is too much work. I'll take a B-. What can I do like almost perfect me? Can I do I'm making an effort me?
You're going to have to do the full 2-hour session, Kristin, number one.
I called her. She won't she won't take me.
No, she said no.
Yeah. She said, not going to work. You don't have the focus.
The point is, though, is everything that you need to know to be happy or perfect in your head. You already have that.
You already have it. I know it, but we say that. I think that that's always the goal, right? Like, this word of happy. And I think about that a lot because I've been in such a bad mood for like the last 6 years. And I'm really not.
Wait, that's when we started doing.
Kidding. I'm kidding. Started IMOMSOHARD weird. I feel like it's my kids. It's like my age of my son. And then prior to that was like, the toddler age, and like everything can make you like moody. And I always try to evaluate, like, Kristin, when are you the happiest? And like, you have to take that eye and look at it. And we've talked about this before, like figuring out what your happy is, but feelings are fleeting, and it's okay to go from like, I'm having a bad day. I don't feel like I'm doing what I need to do to be happy. I think there's some power in just sort of acknowledging like where you're at right now and be like, this is what I got going on. Maybe tomorrow's going to be different. Maybe I put a foot forward in a different direction, but kind of taking the pressure off that you have to change yourself so quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just got back from the road. Look, we have the greatest job. Jen looked at me before the cookie hit and said to me, isn't this crazy that this is our job? Like, this is our job. And we hear music and cheering. It's like, there's not a moment that our brains aren't like blown at the idea that we get to perform in front of women and that don't know us, but then they know us, and it's your head is like spun. So I think sometimes we don't give ourselves a break to say like, hey, we're only human beings. And now we're coming back into mom land. We've been on the road and traveling and very stressed out, and it's high octane. Like, we need a second to reboot, and then you'll have a good day and you'll be like, all right, I did something crafty, or I made a curtain, or I did a yoga class, or I looked at crystals or something. And then you'll feel like you again.
I'm not making curtains. I am not. That is off the table.
They're so easy to make, actually, though. I'm surprised you don't make curtains.
I've made these.
I know. I need a curtain. I need 4.
Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go to yoga class.
We just have to prioritize a little downtime, which I think is key. It really is key. If it's hiding in your car for 30 minutes or, it's, and here I'm going to say something.
Just to fall off the grid.
Yeah, I'm going to say something that might shock mothers everywhere, and they'll get real pearl clutchy, but it's okay to miss a game.
Oh, yeah. You guys look at, my parents never went to a single thing, and I am great. Aren't I clear?
No, that comes up a lot. But unlike, there's the extremes, but one game is not gonna make or break.
No.
It will be the game they get a grand slam at. I just want you to know that. That's just how God works. The universe will work against you 100%. But if you're getting a manicure, you'll feel good about it.
I gotta believe there's somebody out there not going to games and really not giving a shit either. And I think it's sort of like,
I think it's all or nothing. I love going to the games, and I'm such a dork. I'm like such a team mom that like, I feel like I should just team mom.
She's got her shirt made.
Totally. I have a matching top. Yeah. I wear the right colors. I have the hat.
Yeah.
Not allowed to cheer for my son anymore because evidently I made him strike out because my power is so strong. I would make an excellent first base coach, by the way. So I do love going, but I thought to myself, like, you know what? I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to have somebody put their hands on me. I'm stressed out. This is going to make me a better person.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. It'll be okay if I'm not at soccer practice. When did we ever start doing that? When did we start showing up to practices?
I don't know.
You drop them off, you pick them up. That's what we do.
I love my husband has nothing but fond memories of his childhood, and his parents has just like their B team respect, love for them. But he's like, no, the summers was my mom would drop me off at the pool at like 9 a.m.
and pick him up at 3.
Yeah,
that is. I think we are. I will say that it is
no
difficult.
Sunscreen.
Oh God, no. You get a pass when your kid, when you have like a practice and it's in a city, in a big park, and like that's kind of weird. Like you do kind of have to just sit and wait because it's the traffic of it all.
I don't
expect. But if I lived in a smaller town you can bet that freaking registration money is babysitter money.
I'm dropping off and picking up.
I'm going to Trader Joe's. I'm going to go get my nails done.
Yeah.
It's my time. I don't want to watch.
I know you get a dance class. It's an hour long. I mean, that's.
But there is a Home Goods right down. And Eleanor goes, are you going to watch me or are you going to go to Home Goods? And I'm like.
I'm going to watch Home Goods.
I'm going to watch you.
Yeah.
We'll
see what happens.
When are you doing Shuffle Off to Buffalo? I love that one. Can you start with that? And then I can go to Home Goods.
When I was a kid too, I had dance class it was like 9 a.m. till like 3 or 4 on Saturdays.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was.
We've been doing the drop off thing more and more because I just feel like we've been talking about, I need a minute, even if it's to do nothing. And I don't love sitting in the car and doing nothing. And what I don't like doing is sitting in front of my kids on my phone doing nothing. Because then when I say like, you're on your screen too much, they're like, well, you're on your screen too much. I'm like, hell no, sir. I will be on my screen away from you. So then you don't know that I'm on my screen too much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat a pot cookie.
I am on my screen too much. And by the way, I'm not always doing work. I'm just staring at things.
Yeah.
I'm loading a cart I'm never going to take to the checkout because
but it feels delightful.
It is something else to do.
I'm sending people TikToks about air fryer recipes and thirst traps, and it's not your business.
That is 1,000% true, actually. You were sending.
I did just get a new air fryer.
Both are delicious.
I
saw it. It's a double banger,
It's a double banger. Ninja. Nobody paid me to say that. Nobody gave it to me for free. I bought it.
Don't you have quite the hot flash you want to do?
Oh, I do.
I do. Speaking of,
and this is a really good one.
Flash.
Let's get into a hot flash.
Hot flash. Hot flash. Hot flash.
This is going to be a meaty hot flash. And I've been excited to talk about her, and we talk about her a lot. But it's so funny because I was really thinking about her lately, and now she's kind of in the news.
Uh-oh.
No, not that.
Zendaya?
No.
Nope.
How dare you? I love her for my son. Well, he's too young. But
I'm
saying
like 30, isn't she?
No, she's like 25. I would, if you're getting me off track.
That rounds up to 30.
You always are going, if that's true, I'm going to punch you. Okay.
You round down to 30.
You better watch your mouth.
You round down to 30 at all times.
Thank you. Okay. If you are not on the old TikTok, she's also on Instagram. I'm going to talk about Michaela.
Oh my God, I love her.
And here's what I'm going to say about Michaela.
She's
Michaela is
makeup tutorials.
Okay, she started out she worked at Ulta and she started doing makeup tutorials on TikTok.
Ulta.
If you aren't watching her, I don't know what you're doing because everybody knows who she is because she now has 11 million followers.
Yeah.
In a span of about a year and a half, by the way. So just like an entire city is now watching her.
Yeah.
You know, a major city is now watching her. And here's what I love about her so much. I think Michaela is our generation or that young generation's Oprah. I honestly do. And here's the reasons why. She is very transparent about having an eating disorder. She is transparent about having thinning hair. She's transparent about having her teeth are not doing well because of her bulimia. She is so open, but she's got enthusiasm. She loves doing makeup. There's nothing passive aggressive about her.
No, she's very positive.
There's nothing about her that is like, I'm going to stand on my pulpit because I have had my 15 minutes and now I am important.
No, she laughs at herself. And she's like, I'm gonna try that.
She cusses.
Yeah.
And she recently, and it like, I mean, I wanted to like wrap my arms around her. She's 23 years old. She recently gained 60 pounds. She is now 4'11" and a size 14. And she goes, I'm throwing away my entire wardrobe because I can't fit into these clothes and it's making me feel so terrible about myself. It's triggering my eating disorder. Sure. She goes to the mall. She can't find one thing to wear. Haven't we all been in a dressing room where we've started bawling?
Yes.
And so she comes home and she is.
It's a lot of harsh lighting too.
Oh, God. So she's
Why don't they
crying.
put stripper lighting
in the
say. Dressing room?
I'd buy it all.
So
she's crying through this thing and she's not sobbing. She's just like, if you know how frustrating this is, then let me know, where do you shop? Like, she is engaged. She makes you feel like you are with her. She makes you feel like a friend. And I believe her energy is that. And she is changing the game, y'all. Because when that woman says, buy this moisturizer, it sells out. when she said she was putting on Tom Ford makeup, she was like, I think this might be she says wedding. This might be my wedding makeup.
She's from Boston, you guys.
Yeah, Tom Ford goes, hey, Michaela, we want you to come out to a party for the Academy Awards. Now, what I love about that is they wanted to dress her in Tom Ford. And I was like, hey, Tom Ford, you're going to have to step up your game and you're going to have to actually make clothes for a woman who is curvy and who isn't 6'3".
Yeah.
Because let that be a lesson to you designers that if you're not doing that, your clothes don't inspire. I'm not like impressed with you. So if you can put a blazer on a 6'2", 100-pound woman and wrap a belt around it and call it fashion, so can I.
Yeah.
That's not hard. Women's bodies are challenging. We should be building clothes for them. So I just loved that Tom Ford had to take a second because guess what? She's running the show. If she says go buy Tom Ford foundation, people go buy it. I went to the store and I was like, I want the one Michaela wants. And they go, we don't carry it here. And I was like, oh, like I am following her lead and I'm so much older than her. She is, but she speaks to me. This little 23-year-old woman is like changing the way I feel about myself.
She knows her shit too.
She knows her shit.
I went to Chanel because every once in a while I'll buy like a Chanel makeup. They last forever.
Yeah.
The color's like really true.
Oh yeah, the palettes, they're the best.
She was like, get this number 23 stick. And I went in there and I was like, I want number 23. And they were like, oh,
we're sold out.
We're sold out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's because it was Michaela recommended it, but it actually would have been too dark for me. They gave me a different
But
color.
you were happy.
But yeah, I was really happy with it. And like, I can find clothes that fit me right now. I really am I'm growing out of my pajamas. I told you I sized up my underwear and stuff like that. But I did when I remember how horrible it felt when I was like going from 6th grade into 7th grade because you feel like you're an adult now.
Yeah.
And I'm short. Michaela, she's short too. It's a thing.
It's a tough thing.
Was like bawling to my mom in the mall because I had to wear little kid clothes.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm so short. I remember being.
I was like that in 11th grade, Jen.
My freshman year of college, I would shop in the girls section sometimes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. And also what I think is the thing that we need to take a note from is this girl's 23. She's in that second adolescence where how we present and what we wear and all matters so much. And as you age, it's nice that it kind of goes to the wayside a little bit. You're kind of like, I've had babies. I got like a little bit of pudge. What do you want to do? But she's not there. She's in a very like outward centric space in her brain. And she's working against that. And I think it's so powerful to see her say, this is how I look and this is who I am. And like, you should like your skin. You should like your body. It's sometimes frustrating. She talks about having acne breakouts. She shows it. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my period. Maybe it's my hormones. I suffer from depression. She just says it and then goes on to doing makeup. And I think she's wonderful.
Her honesty
great. And she's only getting better.
Yeah.
There's a few TikTokers out there that I feel like have hit and now are very like, there's a little bit of arrogance there that I'm like, you think you now have something to say. I don't know. It's the approach. It's a little bit like off-putting.
I think a lot of TikTokers are fucking annoying.
It depends on what you're watching. It depends on what's on your For You page.
And just drop that F-bomb.
But yes, I would agree with you. There's some that I'm like, you were better in the beginning. But Michaela just keeps doing it and getting it right and speaking the right thing. And I don't know if she'll get burnout or if she'll get married and have a baby and sort of be an IMOMSOHARD of the 20s, like I don't know what she'll do, but I certainly hope she stays around for a really long time because I think she's really powerful.
And maybe there'll be like more Michaelas because something's got to crash through. Like literally, if you thought about how much time women have spent and energy have spent worrying about their weight and whether they could get their curly hair straight or their straight hair curly, we could have really cured cancer by now. Like it's really a lot of emotional and mental energy put towards things that we've been told we should care about.
I think what I like about her in that vein is that what she seems to have with makeup is what you have with makeup, just a delight in doing it. Like, she's like, I like sparkles. I like wearing purple eyeshadow. She's not, it doesn't appear to me.
It's fun to try
it's fun
see
for
what it
her
does.
to try it on. And she will compliment herself. God, I love when she does that. She's like, this looks so fucking pretty. Like, look at me. It's so fucking pretty. She compliments herself. She is living like a good example of like trying to positively approach yourself instead of just tear it apart. And I think the beauty standards are stupid, which is why I'm sitting here with no makeup on. And if you look close, probably a goatee. But
I'm not looking.
Yes.
I have to speak into this microphone, so I'm going to lean in, but I'm not look. Look, my one hair's.
My beauty standards are just, well, more of a I like to camp vibe.
But I have not washed my face this morning, which means by about 3 o'clock today, I'll have cystic acne.
But again, she is showing like, just do you. Like, if you want to learn how to do this cut crease of eyeshadow, great. But she's not like, if you wear makeup, you're better, or if you don't, you're not. Sometimes she's very dressed down. She's girly, you know, she likes that shit. I just think we can all take a minute to go, maybe the key is just being like, I'm just going to be all right with myself right now. Just for a second. To change is really hard, and maybe there's shit I shouldn't be doing, but for the most part, we're trying real hard. Like, you and I are trying really hard. We're not like, you know, laying around eating bonbons, even though that sounds awesome.
Wonderful.
I love bonbons.
I don't know what they are, but
they're like ice cream dipped delightfulness. I believe so. There's ice cream in there, and they're a hard shell.
All right. Well, I have to
I would put
end this
them on my
podcast so I can go get bonbons.
Okay, you guys, that's our podcast. Watch Michaela.
She's the best. Bye.
Bye.